Hey guys, Michael Furlong here from Real Estate Resource Group, and I've got one of my colleagues, one of my fellow members, Tony Dimitriadis from AD Partners, and we're doing a little bit of a podcast, which is Tony from the accounting space, accounting and planning. We're really looking at what can help real estate agents, all businesses really in general, fast track and better improve their 21-22 financial year. And Tony's put together a great graphic, a fantastic graphic. Good afternoon, Tony. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Michael. Good to be with you.
Mike, well, it's great to have you. Explain this through. It's actually looks quite, well, one, it looks really quite complex, but I'm sure you're going to unlayer this. And how does this really work from a real estate agent's point of view? What are the benefits and what are the takeaways?
Yeah, absolutely. And it may look complex, but once you break it down, it's quite simple. So there's what we believe to be 5 pillars in terms of financially managing your business well. So the first there is strategy. So yes, with regards to strategy, it's really understanding where you are now in your business cycle, where you want to be, and then, of course, how you're going to get from where you are now to where you want to be.
Yeah.
Too many business owners focus on just the day-to-day, Michael. So this is really about stepping back and understanding what you actually want in your business.
Sure.
You might be great at delivering the service. You might be a great real estate agent. You might be great at sales, but that doesn't mean you're managing the business well. And where is it going? I mean, what do you want from it? So really that's critical. First step is to really understand where your business is and where you want it to get to, what you want to get out of it. What do you want to be known for in the space?
And how many people that you have in general, maybe anecdotally, how many agents actually have, agencies have a plan? I work in that space and I see that it's almost nil for the clients that I work with. What about yourself?
Well, I was going to say probably, 5%. Would probably be the maximum number. So yeah. It is very low.
So point of difference, develop a plan, do your SWOT analysis. I see that in there. It's one of the, I love to see that, but I like those 3 bullet points. Where are you now? Where do you want to be and how you're going to get there? Well done. And number 2, Tony?
So number 2 is about the structure of your business. Now we may or may not understand that there's different financial structures and making sure that you're set up in the best possible structure for you and your business. Understanding what those options are and understanding, again, what's important to you, because there are so many factors to consider when you're talking about a structure of a business. Yeah. And, there's things like tax, obviously, asset protection, flexibility, succession planning, adding or removing partners. There's a whole host of things, but it's important to make sure you have the best structure for you and your business.
And it's interesting, and we're working with a mutual client, and there was something which just recently, a lot of agents don't even think about that. And it's about, I say to people when they're setting up a business together in partnership, everyone loves each other. So it's a bit like kumbaya. But it's the back end. It's when things aren't going so well. It's the tax, it's the structure, it's the exit plan, it's the strategy, it's the bringing another partner in and exiting. So having great structure, really important. And this is, again, another area where a lot of business owners fall down. So fantastic, great point. And number 3, Tony?
Number 3 is about the statutory compliance. And we all know that within the real estate industry, they have their own compliance requirements. Yeah. And there's been a few more of those added this year, as we all know only too well. And I'm sure our agents know only too well. But again, from a financial point of view, actually understanding all of your statutory requirements as well. What are all your responsibilities? Yes, people know, generally speaking, there's an NDV tax return and, there's generally a quarterly BAS that needs to be completed. But it is so much more than that. And understanding all of those requirements, understanding the importance of getting everything done on time, and getting it done correctly, and making sure, you have the right reporting to be able to do that. Who manages it, whether it's managed internally, externally.
Yes.
So, you know, again, it goes beyond just tax. There's superannuation, and there's a whole host of statutory compliance requirements.
And super just went up again just a couple of weeks ago?
Yep. We're now at 10%. And again, for small business, for some of them who employ a few staff, you know, that's going to be a little bit of a, dent in the finances. And again, planning for that and understanding what that impact means to them.
You would have seen just recently I posted that the state government quietly snuck in that the penalty interest rate went up by 10%. Went from $165 to $181. So it went up by a full 10%. No one knows about it. It's just government adding another tax on top of for fines.
Yeah, and there's some significant fines from the ATO, from ASIC, again, which not all business owners really understand. Not all agents are across that. And, you know, you only have to be late a day or two in some instances. And, you know, there's a few $100s that walks out the door for no reason.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to earn. It's easy to burn. Mate, the systems, talk to me about that number 4, because you're talking my language now. I'm a systems person. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And systems means so much more than getting a computer and having some systems on a computer. It really is the way you manage your business. It's really the operations part of the business. And you know, you're an expert in that area, Michael, and you could probably talk about it for hours. But again, from a financial point of view, with a financial bent, it's, you know, managing your cash flow, understanding your working capital. We know that in a real estate business, you're going to get irregular, larger chunks of money coming in. You've got to manage that cash flow because you've got commitments to make. And, you know, just because you know you've got a couple of dollars that have dropped in the bank account out of a commission for a sale, doesn't mean that all that's yours, because there are other commitments you need to make out of it. So again, understanding your numbers, understanding, you know, your working capital, managing financing. Again, you know, depending on your agency and what your requirements are and what you might be doing within, whether that's, you know, from a growth perspective in terms of, physically investing in the business, then again, being on top of all that and understanding those things.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a little bit like understanding before where you said, where do you want to be and how you're going to get there? So you need to have that strategy. Tony, the last one, support.
Yes, so I suppose this wraps it all up. One of the biggest mistakes, Michael, I've found in over 20 years doing this is that the number one mistake that business owners make is that they think they can do everything themselves.
Yeah.
And if they're starting out and they're very small, we understand that they're super cost conscious and they've probably got a bit of time anyway, so they can probably do a lot of things themselves. But as the business grows, they cannot do everything themselves. So they do obviously hire staff as they grow, and that's great. But they need to make sure that they've got all of the other external support around them as well. So whether that is, rent roll optimizers like yourself, accountants, solicitors, whoever it is they need to work with to better their business, make their business stronger, make their business grow, then they need to make sure that they get that support. Because, you know, if they're trying to do it all themselves, one, they're not likely to do it all well, and two, they'll burn themselves out.
Absolutely.
And, you know, it's already been a tough 18 months, and there's probably been a fair bit of, you know, mental stress and burnout. We don't need that. It's no good for you, your family, or your business.
Yeah.
You know? You need to remain healthy so your business remains healthy. And the way to do that is to make sure you've got all the right support structure in place.
Absolutely. No, that's brilliant. I again, the same things with talking to clients, because we work in the same space. And this is the whole benefit of the Real Estate Resource Group, is that we're trying to put together what I really believe is that agencies need to have a team around them before they need them. So they need to have that support team of all this different services well before they need them. You don't need to be calling an accountant after you've got a fine. You need to do it as part of the preparation. You don't need a lawyer after you're in court. You need it as part of the preparation. And having that support team is fantastic. Mate, thank you. And just on the outlook for the clients, you think 2021-22 financial year, it has to be better. It can't be worse. It has to be better than the last year.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and I think it will be. I think generally speaking, the calendar year this year has obviously been a lot better. Victoria has shown that it's been able to bounce back. It's been resilient. People are wanting to transact, Michael. People are wanting to do business. The only reason why they weren't in chunks of time is because they weren't allowed to. They were restricted. So, as long as we can get on top of this, and hopefully that the COVID case numbers remain low and the vaccination numbers increase, I think we're in for a very positive year, and probably a very positive few years coming out of this.
Fantastic. I like your optimism and enthusiasm, mate. Thank you. Thank you for being an active member and a great member of the Real Estate Resource Group. How do people get in touch with you? Is it the website, adpartners.com.au? Is that the best way?
Yep, they can certainly contact us through the website. We have a contact page there, or they can email me direct at tonyd@adpartners.com.au. More than happy to help them out and speak to them about their needs and support them.
This is a great little slide, and I think you might find it being used quite a lot, or even printed and up on some walls. So, this is probably the most succinct, and I love it. I think it's great. If I could get all of my messages into one slide, I wish I could. So succinct, and I think if an office was really looking to try and make sure they capitalise on this year, they need to get in touch with you, mate. Thank you very much for your time today, and for your thoughts on the way things are heading, and your wisdom here as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. Pleasure.